Well, you said, what the fuck are we doing? So I asked, what the fuck are the people at Dark Side of the Ring doing? Did you guys watch this week's episode?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
First of all right, so we're talking about Adrian Adonis. That was this week's episode. They get you right out of the gate that Adrian Adonis died in a car accident, and they play this fucking ominous, sad music for like the first 25 minutes of the show. Even when they start going into his career. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, who picked the audio for this shit? And then on top of that, it's like you learn nothing about him until Dan Spivey kicks the shit out of him. That was like the highlight of the episode to me. Right? I mean, who don't love some Dan Spivey?
You really do pay attention to some weird shit, man.
Like, you didn't notice that? Like, I'm sitting there, and my wife was like, why do you watch this shit? It's so depressing. I go, well, it is Dark Side of the Ring, but this one is, like, really fucking weird. Like, the entire first part of the episode was just like, ooh.
I mean, it's a sad story.
And Jericho fucking stuttering over his words. Seriously, he's not a good announcer.
Is there anything you don't hate watch?
I don't hate watching Danny Spivey kicking the shit out of Adrian Adonis for getting rough with him. Oh, when he said, when fucking Brett said, like, or somebody, who was it? Somebody said, like, eventually you meet your match, and then Dan Spivey walks in. I was like, oh, this shit's getting good. And they're like, he's getting ready to face Hogan on a title run and this and that. Nope.
Yeah, the thing that caught me off, or at least strange about the episode, was when they were talking to, was it Johnson? I forget the first name now.
Rocky?
Oh no, it's Rocky's cousin, right?
Yeah, it might even went by Ricky. I'm not sure.
Yes, I think it is Ricky Johnson. Actually,
I think you're right.
And they left you on the cliffhanger where he says, "I called my wife and I said I'm coming home. Everybody's dead." And they left you on that cliffhanger, and they didn't continue that part of it. Like, I wanted to hear what else he had to say after that, and they never went back to that. That bugged the hell out of me. I think you're right, though, Tony. That Dan Spivey stuff, that was the highlight of the episode for sure. But then I did enjoy the fact that they applauded the work that he put into his Adrian Adonis' character. Like, his character work was so good when he was adorable Adrian Adonis. So I appreciated that.
And he was still good in the ring, but, you know... Then again, I'm sure the 4,500 references to doing cocaine in the locker room fucking had something to do with it. Jesus Christ. Oh, cocaine was everywhere. You could get cocaine. Oh, I was a young boy from Calgary and I was doing cocaine. I was learning. And, like, holy shit, dude. All right, we get it. You did coke. Who cares?
Yeah, but see, I think you're because the transformation that happens to Adrian Adonis, when he's Adrian Adonis with the fucking NY on the back of his jacket, and then he starts doing blow. He literally blows up. He gained like fucking 80 pounds from doing cocaine.
Yeah. I still remember when he came out and he took the coat off, the leather coat. He wasn't even adorable Adrian yet. And when he took the coat off, Gorilla Monsoon was like, whew. He's like, Jesse, your boy put on some weight, huh?
And I think the part of the storytelling is like cocaine was such a habit for him. And the bittersweet part of it is that he kicked it and he got his life together, and then he has this tragic ending, and it's heightened by the fact that the fucking ring crew following the truck ran their fucking pockets.
Yeah.
How fucked up is that?
It's Canada, bro. It's Newfoundland.
Yeah, but it's the ring crew. It's guys you're spending time with, guys that are in the business. They're supposed to be your brethren. You're dying in a fucking ditch, and instead of trying to help you, not saying that if, these people fucking helped him, he would have survived, but something, and they're fucking taking his watch and they're running his pockets. That's fucked, dude.
Yeah, it really is.
That's fucked up. And he was turning his fucking life around. He went back to Japan. He dropped the adorable Adrian Adonis gimmick and was back to being just fucking Adrian Adonis, the ass kicker. Brett might have been right, too. Like, if he doesn't fucking die, like, maybe he comes back in like 90 to work a program with Hogan or Warrior as just some fucking badass brute.
Dusty. I would like to see him and Dusty.
What if him and Dusty were a tag team?
That would work too.
Fucking Adonis and Rhodes? Holy shit.
Yep. Absolutely. That's a good what if topic.
I don't know, man.
It's It's Dark Side of the Ring, though. That's the thing. Like, it's all sad shit, man. What do you want?
It just seemed like it was like just, oh yeah, there was coke, and fucking Jim Brunzell. Yeah, they dropped the coke off and then it came back. Like, that was a funny story, but I don't know, man.
Well, is it? Go ahead, man.
Because look, for us, right? Like this, we already know. Like, and I think we've had this conversation before with like the A&E biographies or any new like documentary they put on Peacock. Like, we know all this shit already.
Yeah.
Right. For the most part, we know this. They're trying to, for someone who's, 22 years old, that was born in 2001, like, to give them a clear picture of the state of the wrestling industry and how easy it was for these guys to get cocaine back then, you have to hammer home, like, this dude was a badass. This dude was a tough guy. This dude was an ass kicker. And then he started doing fucking cocaine and fucked up his whole run in the WWF.
I don't know, man. It just seemed like it was like a lot. Just like, yeah, everybody did coke. All right, yeah, and then we were doing coke. All right, and then we're doing like, I don't know, man. It's like time they could have been telling other stories about Adrian. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, well, what kind of stories did you want to hear?
Oh, it's Dark Side of the Ring. I don't know. Maybe he was wiping wrong with a corn cob.
They could have dug a little bit more into his when he was a young man, right? Just kicking everybody's ass in Buffalo. I would like to hear more about that.
You like his friend Noodles, the little guy?
Yeah, fucking Noodles in the fucking bar. He was in the fucking state pen. Who gives a shit?
Well, I just would like to hear some more stories about whose ass he was kicking and why when he was young.
Yeah.
Oh, he was kicking fucking Bill the fucking butcher's ass.
All right.
Shit.
The cocaine aspect of it, I think you're kind of right there, Tony. They did kind of drive that just right through your head. But I think, to me at least, it was a little bit compounded because the last episode was JYD, and that was just he did coke, he did coke, he did coke, he did coke, he did coke. And now we get to Adrian, and it's he did coke, he did coke, he did coke. Like, just space. If you're going to drive home like cocaine so much, just space it out a little bit, right? Give me a couple buffer episodes and then go right back into he did coke, he did coke, he did coke, he did coke, right?
Or give me a little more about him rather than just doing coke, Like, give me,
I think they did. They covered the family life and his family side. And they talked to his wife and his kids.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know.
I was going to ask you this, Tony, because you remember when he came out as, Adrian Adonis, right? And you were able to kind of check the temperature of the times. Was that a move that pissed everybody off, given just giving the landscape of the time?
No, when I was a kid, like, I don't know, like, I didn't put two and two together. Like, I didn't think like, oh, he's gay and he likes men and this and that. Like, he's just an effeminate character. Like, that's what it was. And he had a flower shop. And what was cool but not cool was my dad had a flower shop. So it was like... Still does, by the way. Well, I mean, Piper was using the F word to describe him. So
they were definitely the crowd. Bro, he comes out at the fucking Boston Garden for a house show. They're every fucking word in the book. They're definitely throwing at him.
Oh, 100%. For sure. But when all right, let's go into a little history of the F word. When we were kids, we called everybody the F word. Like, that's how we rolled, and we didn't think of like what goes along with that connotation. You were just, you were that, and that was it. Am I wrong?
No, I get it. But like here, it was just, you would do it, if we were fucking out playing fucking tackle football and you fucking were complaining because someone gave you a horse collar and ripped your T-shirt. What are you, an F?
Yeah, of course.
In fucking pink with a fucking boa and flowers, and it's 1988 or 86, 87. And it's like, that's what people are afraid of. And they're gonna let you know it.
All right. I don't know if this is gonna sound cruel, but I think had they waited with this gimmick another 2 years, I think it might have been much more fucking craze balls. I would think. Just what was happening in the world in 1990. You know what I mean? Maybe it's good that it came along when it did. Maybe it was good that it ended when it did.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea was for him to get heat, right? Like,
Yeah.
All right.
He was given that character because
He was fat?
no, because I think
It was the polka dots before the polka dots.
I think it was Vince. Like, okay, this is a dude who can handle himself and handle like the tough guy, Adrian Adonis. Like, there's nothing to the like. You're a tough guy. That's your character.
You don't think that was just
like,
a switch up, like fucking with him?
I mean, maybe it was, but maybe it was like, hey, dude, like, if you're gonna fuck off and you're gonna, rumors getting around that you're doing fucking blow, like, I'm gonna fuck your whole gimmick up if you're gonna fuck off on this opportunity. And then, like, it's probably like a catch-22 too. Like, here's a guy who, if we put into this, like, he can handle himself. Like, he can take being called the F word and being made fun of, and if he needs to fucking knock somebody out, he'll do it.
Fair enough.
And I think you got to see better side of the Adrian Adonis character. Like, it showed you that he could work as this effeminate character. And going from the fucking biker dude who was just a tough guy to now this was awesome.
And I don't remember it. I don't think they did. No comments on Relax with Trudy. We don't get an answer still. No.
No, I don't even know what you're talking about.
What? Really? Man, I must be old. Before Adrian became Adorable Adrian, when he was a singles, he used to come out with the briefcase handcuffed to his wrist. And on the side of the briefcase, it would say, Relax with Trudy. And they'd all go, what does that mean? What's in the briefcase? What's going on? And then, irony of irony, when he became Adorable Adrian, his sleeper hold was called Goodnight Irene. Irene, Trudy, I don't know. Were they his kids' names? I didn't even put two and two together.
I completely blanked out the fact that briefcase handcuffed to him. I completely forgot about that until you mentioned it. I got nothing on it, but I vaguely remember it now that you mention it.
Yeah, I did a quick Google thing real quick, but I don't think... it was speculated by announcers that the briefcase contained the $50,000 bounty that Heenan had placed on Paul Orndorff's head. I don't know. Yeah, there's nothing here.
No, I found a Reddit thing where it's like the topic is like things that have never been explained.
Ooh.
It's like him, he comes out, he's got Heenan with him, he's got the briefcase, it says Relax with Trudy, but you never really find out what's in the briefcase.
Yeah. Wow. It's one of those things that we just never got the payoff for. God damn. It would have been cool to have that as a little side.
It wasn't dark enough, Tony.
Well, was any part of you happy with the Dan Spivey story?
Who, me?
Dan Spivey took Adrian to town.
Oh, I fucking loved it. I wish he would have did it the first night.
Yeah.
But doing it the second night made it kind of even better.
Yeah.
It was like, fuck this. Jumping Jim's like, we had to run out of the locker room. Dude, guys don't run out of the locker room anymore to stop shit. How great would that have been? On a house show, Dan fucking Spivey had to get held back by Jumping Jim Brunzell from kicking the shit out of Adrian Adonis. I would have loved being there live for that. I would have had no idea what was going on. I would have thought it was amazing. Seriously.
It wasn't the Matt Bourne episode. He was it Brunzell had the dust up with Bourne too.
No, it was B. Brian Blair, wasn't it?
Was it Blair? Okay.
It was the other B.
Man, I got to tell you, Minnesota breeds tough guys.
Hornets. You know, I had to rewrite that joke 3 times until it came to me.
Oh, good God.
I'm telling you, man, listen, I love doing the over the tops, man. I get creative. I got the shit flowing when I'm in the shower.
Shit in the shower?
No, I don't do that. I have to waffle stomp it down the hole.
Stomping grapes down the drain?
Like Lucy with my fucking hands on my hips. No. Wait, that's Mexican. Wait. Never mind.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Mod Spock chiming in. Hornets and corn cobs. Name of the episode. I would just go with Hornets with an exclamation point. Hornets. It makes me laugh every fucking time.
Told you, it gets better.
I want to stay in the, I guess it's the dark side of the ring arena.
Okay.
We got Abdullah next week, so we'll hear.
Oh, your favorite.
Hep C in his fucking ribs. Hope he dies.
Open up a can of Hep C.
Did you say stop? Because I don't care. Fuck
I said
his fucking hack. But today also is the 35th anniversary of the Bruiser Brody murder.
Oh, they're gonna say Argentina.
I don't know when. I don't. God damn it! Now let's just Nancy.
Yeah, Kate, that was a third draft. I was trying to work in Birkenstocks and fucking messenger bags, and it just wasn't working out. So I was like, let me go the Italian route.
Okay, you can put it on your calendar. Make a note. We can talk about the unnecessary slip and fall of Nancy, Argentina.
Nancy.
What was the date?
May 11th.
Oh, we missed it. It was 2 months ago.
It's coming back around again. 10 months, buddy.
Fuck yeah.
So
let me write that down.
May 11th.
A day that will live in infamy.
So, but today is 35 years since the meaningless death of one Bruiser Brody, who, ironically enough, was supposed to have a match against Dan Spivey in Puerto Rico, and he was stabbed to death.
I would imagine those guys respected each other, right? Like Dan Spivey was cut from that same kind of cloth. I mean, not crazy, but if you fuck with him, he'll fuck with you back. He would probably have a great match with Brody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, probably. So that was that Invader one. Yeah, so
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I heard a very interesting tidbit on Between the Sheets.
Ooh.
Apparently, prior to going to this show in Puerto Rico, Bruiser Brody was supposed to work Otto Vons in the CWA.
Really?
Didn't want to lose to Otto because there was a young lion on excursion there, and the Japanese newspapers would be there to cover him. So if they saw Brody lose, they would put it in their newspaper. So he opted out of the tour, and that's how he ended up in Puerto Rico.
For want of a job, huh?
No, well, he didn't want to do the job, and then he was part owner of that promotion in Puerto Rico. So it wasn't.
Was it IWA in Puerto Rico? I don't know. I know. I'm making you do work. I'm sorry.
But he did. It wasn't like he had to go get a booking. He was just like, "Fuck it, I'm not going to work there. I might as well go down to Puerto Rico and work a match."
No, definitely. Well, maybe it was IWA. When they been? No, it wasn't IWA. Never mind. That was a long time ago. That's Victor Canones' thing. Never mind. It wasn't that. No biggies. But I know Dutch Mantell was also in the office at that point too, and I think Gorilla Monsoon also had a piece of that territory as well.
It was WWC.
Cologne.
Cologne, yeah.
I didn't think it was WWC, but that was the obvious. Yeah. Wow.
I heard a Bruiser Brody story just recently, and I don't know if it's one that everybody else has heard before or not, but it was new to me. It had to do with Bruiser Brody and Danny Hodge. Do you guys know this story?
No, but I'm interested.
So Bruiser Brody, because Bruiser Brody throughout his career, he didn't really sell an awful lot. Like it took a lot for him to sell for just about anybody. And I don't know what I only tracked it back to, I think it was a match in 75, a tag match with, I think it was Bruiser. I want to say Stan Hansen was involved. I know Danny Hodge retired in like 76, so could have been mid 75. I don't recall. But Bruiser was saying, why in the hell would I ever sell for that little guy? And he was referring to Danny Hodge.
Yep.
And the promoter said, okay, then don't. Took Danny Hodge about 3 minutes, and Bruiser started selling for Danny Hodge.
For sure.
Because I guess Danny Hodge got wind of it, and he went, "No, I'll crush him." And that's what Danny did. Danny made Bruiser start selling for him, which I thought was just the funny thing to me was the promoter just saying, "Okay, then don't." See what happens, bitch.
Yeah, but Brody was old school, man. He didn't want to sell shit for anybody. He was always protective of his image, which you can understand. But then you get situations like his match with Lex Luger, where he didn't want to sell shit. He knew. Here's one you got to find. Bruiser Brody, when he wrestled The Undertaker in World Class, when The Undertaker was like, I forget what the hell his name was. He was wearing a mask at the time. Undertaker talked about it when he got an interview with Steve Austin.
Something red.
It wasn't Big Red, some shit or other. I got to look it up. But, yeah, so Austin, he told Austin the story. He was like, he started calling the match, and he was getting stiff with him, and Brody's like, all right, we're going outside. And he shit cans him and just started beating the shit out of him with chairs and shit.
Because it was rare that Brody would even go down to, like, a knee at a lot of
them.
Like, he just
Texas Red, sorry.
Yeah. So the Brody match I found a couple, Handsome Kevin, where it's Brody and he's Frank Goodish at this point. He's not even Bruiser Brody yet.
Yep.
Tim and Stan against Danny Hodge and Bill Watts.
Yeah.
Wow. Bill Watts was in that thing?
Pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, because it was, middle of 75, something like that?
This has May and June of 75.
Okay. Yeah, because Danny Hodge, he had to retire because of, was it a car wreck? 76?
Kind of sounds right. Danny Hodge was a light heavyweight, wasn't he? Wasn't he a lighter guy?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But not to be fucked with, that's for sure.
Oh, no, for sure. He was old school shooter, man. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a young Brody who doesn't know his ass from his elbow at that point, you know?
Could you imagine that, though? Like, today, going, like, why would I sell for him? And the promoter going, okay, don't. See what happens. Like that.
Yeah.
Oof. Oof, oh boy.
Yeah, so him refusing to sell, Brody refusing to sell was also where the original problem with Invader 1 came from, was when he was in WWF and he wouldn't sell for Invader 1. So he held that grudge that was 76, so he held it for 12 years.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the what if, right? If Bruiser Brody doesn't get murdered, do we see a Hogan Bruiser Brody WWF run?
I think Hogan would have to do a lot of talking to Brody. That would probably be money that Brody. Well, then again, no, because Brody worked Japan, so Brody probably made a shit ton of money over there.
Yeah, but to not have to travel, and just work one program with Hogan.
True, but then he'd have to put Hogan over. Would he be cool with that? That's the problem.
For the money?
I mean, what year are we talking? Are we talking pre? I mean, well, it's pay-per-view era. It's got to be. So
he's murdered in July of 88.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see. I'm just trying to get a timeline to see what, at this point, is he doing in Japan, though. Like, where did he leave off? Just pull up his cage match really fast here.
Probably making a shit ton of money.
So he's in All Japan at this point, in 1988, and he's tagging with Tommy Rich and Snuka. He lost the NWA International Heavyweight title to Jumbo Saruta.
This is before the Triple Crown.
Yeah, so he's doing a lot of tag team matches, and he's the NWA International Heavyweight Champion. He beats Saruta at the beginning of '88, and then loses to him in April. But outside of that, it's him, Big Bubba, and Jimmy Snuka doing 6-man and tag matches in the All Japan Pro Wrestling Championship Carnival.
Well, I mean, Japan still kind of took Hogan seriously, right? So maybe a run with Hogan Could have made him some money. Wouldn't have had a problem losing. It's not like he had to go losing on the house shows. They could have done schmozzes up and down the card, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, you look, man, for the amount of money he would have made, just one pro. I'm not talking like go be in fucking WWF or, sign the Hogan WCW contract when he first comes in. Sign for 6 months.
Dude, even better. Hogan and Brody together. Have them go on a tear as a tag team. Then Brody has enough and fucking turns on him. Now you got Brody for a year.
I mean, Hogan's working boss man at this point in 88.
Yeah, but before 88, dude, you bring him in like 86, maybe 87.
Yeah, but I still think his value's high in Japan.
Yeah.
True. But you're talking about the world champion, too. Maybe maybe it even gets better. Like, Hogan beats Andre in 87, so maybe you bring him in for the summer?
I was going to say it. See, him and Brody sounds like it would have been a great SummerSlam main event. It would have been fantastic for the summer. It would have been a good run, and I would have loved to seen him come in after Andre, because you look at the opponents that he ended up having after Andre, and there was some. I mean, obviously there were some good ones, but there were some flat ones too. So to bring in Brody as this outside monster, I think it would have been a fun program.
Absolutely, I think it would have made a ton of money.
Yeah.
Who do you view more as a threat to Hogan? I mean, do you think Bundy is a bigger threat? Do you think
you're stealing money, Bundy?
Quake? You think that, you know what I mean? Like, Bruiser seems like he would be a bigger legitimate threat to Hogan at that time.
Yeah, and look, man, that's what the WWE did. They brought in the monsters for Hogan to slay.
Mm-hmm.
King Kong Brody's a big fucking monster.
He's the perfect filler between the 88 Survivor Series and WrestleMania in 89. Like, that would have been a great spot for Bruiser Brody.
You could even had him come in at the tournament. Have him run the tournament.
Oh God, you think so?
Oh, that would have been so. Well, look at, if you bring him in and you have him run the tournament and set up him and Hogan, have him run the tournament just out of nowhere, just putting bastards down left and right, doesn't leave his feet the entire fucking tournament. Who poses as a bigger threat to Hogan after that tournament? Like,
yeah, but you got to bring him in though. You can't just plop him in the tournament. But then it also shits everything that you did with Savage. It shits everything that builds up the main event. Dude, the main event was probably the biggest show in fucking wrestling history on TV.
Yeah.
Had to have been. And I'm not talking about like Days of Dumont when the wrestling was on every week and it was, highly rated, whatnot. They fucking put this shit on prime time on a Friday and they fucking pulled in like 27 million people. That's insanity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, if I think if he doesn't get murdered in 88 and the option is there where Vince goes to him and goes, I want to bring you in for a 6-month run at the top with Hogan, you change everything around.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if the run with Hogan Brody isn't for the title? What if it's just the two of them and you leave Savage and DiBiase as the other main event?
You want to see Hogan slay the Giant because with all
Hogan's got to make no holds barred, brother.
Maybe he doesn't. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right? Maybe coming out of no holds barred, it's not fucking Zeus. It's Savage and Brody.
Yeah.
Ooh, you're talking 89 now?
Right? It's a year later. Vince comes to him. I have this movie. I need a bad guy. You fit the fucking role. And then after, we're going to do the movie, the match, the whole nine thing. Sorry, Tiny Lister, you're fucking out. You're shit can, buddy. I'm going to bring in somebody who can... Could you imagine a Saturday night's main event? Hogan comes out to wrestle Bossman in the cage and fucking Bruiser Brody standing on the fucking steps with his fucking furry fucking jacket on, with big furry boots.
Hell yeah. I'm in.
Nah, they'd have him in polka dots or some shit.
No, they don't. This dude's not fucking selling for people. You think he's going to sign to wear fucking polka dots, buddy? He's going in. Because he knows. Here's the thing with Brody. Right? He knows he can go in there and ask for whatever he wants. If he doesn't get it, he's just going back to fucking Japan.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, you also got to have the fear where you have a situation like Stan Hansen in the AWA where he fucking just walks and says, I'm going back to Japan for Baba. I mean, maybe fool me once, shame on you, and maybe Vince isn't, looking to have a Vern Gagne situation on his hands.
Right.
So who knows? Brody was his own worst enemy, though, man. He really was.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Shitty businessman, whatever you want to call him, looking out.
No,
for
he was
himself.
looking out for himself, which is fine, but, you got to, like, even Piper, he was willing to do some business.
Look,
you know what I mean?
Brody did business when it made sense.
I think Hogan Brody would make a lot of sense to do the right thing.
100%.
To do some business.
100%. So I thought, I didn't want that to fly under the radar.
No, definitely not.
Talk
But now
about
you got me
Bruce.
salivating for next year's Nancy Argentino.
Oh, can't wait. Fucking put it in the books, May 11th, whenever that falls.
Just don't put it on the side of a cliff.
Yeah, probably put some stairs over there.
Whee!